Boom. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Hello, it is Scott Goyette and Christopher Rausch here to talk to you about what is love. Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. Oh, no. For those of you guys didn't show up on time, you're going to miss that. What's going on, brother Scott? How are you doing, man?
I'm doing great. And, later on this evening in a half hour, we've got a super powerful show going on. But we thought that with all the things going on right now, we felt that we had to have a 15-minute show and talk about the coaching platform that we're putting together. And so let's do that right now.
Absolutely. Let's drop into it, man. So what do we got going on for these fine ladies and gentlemen who are showing up today, who are feeling like they don't have their own self-love? They're not capable of loving other people. And obviously right now the world needs love. So talk to us about what the program is going to consist of and how each person is going to benefit through the training that you created.
So Chris, one of the things that you and I are both super fortunate, we listen to the words white privilege or whatever, and we can define those words. They're not super important to this conversation, but we both come from a place of privilege. And we both were fortunate enough to get an MBA, and we knew what was happening along the road is we were being trained to do things for other people. We weren't being trained to use our creativity. We weren't being trained to build things. We were being trained to do for others. So a lot of the things that have happened, the more educated we are, the more work we do, the more things we do in life, there's so much more we have to unlearn. And so because of that, this training, this coaching is going to be so amazing. And really what's going to come down to is we're going to be teaching both the love and the fear model. And the love and the fear model are going to be encompassed within a 12-week program. So it's going to be very similar to a college class. Now, again, college classes are typically 8, 12, or 16 weeks. This is going to fall right in the middle. It's going to be a 12-week program. We're going to have 2 classes to kickstart it, which you and I are going to interact with them. We're going to find out what they're really all about, what their dreams, their wants, and expectations are. Then we're going to fall into weeks 2 through 6, weeks 3 through, let me do the math, 3 through, let's see, there's 8 classes in between, the first 2, and then we got the 8. I'm trying to count my fingers. So essentially, we're going to have the LOVE model, and that's going to be, we're going to teach others how to listen more closely to your intuitive self so you can listen to those who are trying to serve you. And so visualize this. This is the easiest way to do it, okay? There's 2 things that are going to happen here. When we've been learning for so long, we've learned that we think things are truths, and they're just things that we've learned to be said there to be truths. The love model is all about wiping down the lenses and making sure those things are really truths. So it's listen, observe, voice, and empathize. We interact with the world with those senses. So we're going to literally teach you how to clean those lenses. And what's going to happen, and we can guarantee this, we'll give you your money back. And I'll say it right now, we'll give you your money back if this does not work. You're going to sit there and all of a sudden say, holy crap, this has always been here? And the answer is yes. So we're going to help you cleanse those lenses. And what this is going to look like is listening is the L, listening more closely to your intuitive self. And then you'll listen more closely to others who are trying to serve you. And one of the things is we've got so many people telling us what to do in our lives. And it's just like, do I do this? Do I do this? Do I do this? We're going to help you fine tune and identify who those people are who are really trying to serve you. And really, once you listen to your intuitive self, that will show up. The next one is observe. Now, when we think of observe, it sounds very passive. It's not. People tend to say, I observe and I'm just looking at things. Be an active observer. So imagine if you're looking from back here and you're watching everything that's going on in the world and you see injustices. Is this a time that we need to look at injustices and take action? We're not sure what to do. We're going to help teach you how to become an active observer. And so what that's going to mean is no longer being passive. You're going to find what your brilliance is so that you can step in and make your contribution to making this world a better place. And you're capable of doing that. The V is voice. We're going to have you check your inner voice. Now, once you start checking that inner voice, first of all, there's things that have been programmed in there by other people. That teacher who said you're not smart enough, or your parent who said you're not as good as your brother, or whatever. Those things will be removed during this program. Then what that's going to do is that's going to echo to your outer voice. So when you're speaking to people and you're like, that person's a jerk, this person's a jerk, or whatever, and you see them alienate people and you're not a magnet, instead you repel, that's going to change. And so your strength is going to come, and then your connection to the universe and to others is just going to intensify. And then finally, this is something that we all struggle with. The E is empathize. That's where the heart comes in. How do I connect with my heart, not just my mind? Everyone has a story. And so we're all at different places in our journey. We're going to talk about how to empathize with all. Then the midway point, we're going to talk and see how, we've done that, how we've kind of cleansed those lenses. The next part is where we're releasing the fear. So listen to that. The first part is we're fine tuning and we're fixing the lenses. Now we're releasing the fear. So the first part of that is F, and that is forgive. Everybody has something that we're holding on to and we're saying, it was my fault, I'm not good enough, I'm not this. Forgive yourself. And then once you do that, we're going to teach you some techniques how to forgive others. The next one is eliminating beliefs that no longer serve you or may have never served you. And so think of all the beliefs that maybe you're assuming or attaching to that you think are true. Imagine if you could move those aside and align to actual truths or actual potential for new truths. It just opens up an infinity of amazingness in yourself. The next one is the one that I have the biggest challenge, and I'll be honest with you, even though I'm teaching it, is accept yourself and others where you are at in your or their journey. So visualize that. Right now, you might be saying, oh, that book I wrote 10 years ago, it's stupid because, I've advanced so much. And I have so much more to go, or this was that, and this is this. Here's what I want you guys to start thinking about, okay? Accept yourself exactly where you are, that this is the perfect placement here and now in this present moment. And just learn and just grow. Now, the toughest part is once we do that internally, how do you do that and accept others? Here's the truth, whether it's a certain voter or a certain person or a certain family member that we're saying, I can't relate to that person. Just remember, at some point in existence in our DNA, we were there, whether it's way back there, and the person who's ahead of us might be looking back at saying the same thing. You've got to realize this. Everybody's where they're at for a reason, and you're playing a role in this process of walking everybody home. And then the final piece is rising up and being resilient. And so we're going to help you find that deep inner grit and step up and find that resiliency that we know lies in all of you. And the last two classes are really going to be about one of the things that I didn't mention in the beginning. We're going to be talking about those default I am statements. So I am not enough. I am regretful. I'm sad. I'm angry is my default. We're going to help you shift those to much more powerful places. I am love. I am joy. I am infinitely possible. And so we're going to check those again at the end, and then we're going to do pretty much a graduation celebration, and it's going to be insanely powerful. And I just want to say one more thing. I've said a lot of things.
One more thing coming up from Scott.
One more thing. I've been teaching this to my students in college for 13 years with amazing success, and it's sprinkled into lessons of business. And they walk away and they're always telling me, like, why are you not teaching this? And I'm teaching this on a coaching level one-on-one as well. I teach this to my clients, but here's what I think could be even more powerful than what I'm doing now. Within this program, we're going to have each person have an accountability coach. So you're going to have accountability within, and we're really going to teach something that's not taught enough. We're going to teach collaboration. And is it going to be scary? Are you going to have to be vulnerable? Are you going to have to be transparent? You might be saying, I don't want to do it right now. If you're saying don't want to do it and you're turning this broadcast off right now, do it, because that's what you need to do to get uncomfortable. So Chris, what do you think? Is this going to be amazing or super amazing?
Super amazing, dude. And thank you for sharing that. And just for everybody's benefit out there, one of the great things about Scott and I coming together and doing this program for you is obviously Scott's experience in, the 13 years of doing this, and for all the businesses you coached with. This is a solid program that's based on the fact of what we can do for you guys. Because I just put it in the comment section. Both Scott and I are living examples of what happens when you're able to love yourself and you're able to give that self-love without feeling like you're being selfish. And at the same time, have care and compassion and love for those. Even if you don't like them, you can still have care and compassion for them. And it's not always perfect. I'll be the first one to raise my hand. But I tell you what, it's leaps and yards from what I was, because I was an angry person. I didn't think I deserved certain things. So when you open your life to the fact that you're open to love, and especially loving yourself, and you stop punishing yourself, which you guys have heard me talk about a bunch, and you're able to take those steps forward, it's almost like coming out of the clouds for the first time. And all of a sudden you see the sunshine. I know that sounds kind of airy fairy, but there's truly a warmth that comes over your soul when you feel like you don't have to be so angry and have this vitriol inside of you and everything else. And that's what Scott and I bring. And the best part for you guys is the fact that I've been doing relationship coaching and teaching on all these same subjects. So not only are you getting Scott's program, but you're getting my coaching as well. In between all that, we're going to pepper it in. So, you get the no excuses, you get the the tough love, you get the curriculum that's going to support you, and you have both Scott and I, you both have access to us because we truly care about this. This for us is really, it was something that we just started talking about. It's like, how can we take what we're doing and what we're talking about as well and help other people during this time? Because, we've all said it since the beginning of COVID. It's like you need to come out of this situation better, stronger, and more capable to handle what's coming next than you've ever been before. And what better place to be able to say, listen, I love myself and I deserve that, to be able to make those powerful steps. Maybe get out of the relationship that you're no longer happy in. Maybe leave a job that's causing you so much stress that you're going to die 10 years early. When you start loving yourself, that is amazing. And that's what Scott and I bring to you with this program. That's going to be, action packed. It's going to be tear filled. But at the end, we want you guys to graduate, if you will, with that sense of accomplishment and be able to go out there and attack the world on a new platform for yourself that has a foundation built on faith and trust and belief that you're going to get through to the next step. And we're going to be here for you with that. So those are kind of my little add-ons to what Scott was saying.
Yeah, and it's right on point too, because first and foremost, think of this, okay? Like, one of the things that's driven me crazy is that when kids are going to college, they're paying $2,000 to $5,000, sometimes more per class. And think of that dollar value, $2,000 to $5,000 for something you're forced to be taking. And half of the times, they're taking a business principle class or a organizational behavior or a leadership class, and they don't really care about it. And so I'm bringing spice to it. I'm integrating lessons to make it valuable for them, because, to be honest with you, I'm not a school guy. I'm really not. I'm infiltrating their system to help them unlearn while they're growing. And I know that might sound crazy, and that probably gets me fired if someone's listening to this, but that's a chance I'm willing to take, because I'm all about the lessons that are in there are beautiful, but the way they're being taught, I'm not in full agreement. So what I wanted to do was take what I would call the fluff, which they call the material, and remove it. So you and I first were talking about doing a 60-minute class once a week, plus we have the accountability coaching, plus we have access to us. And then the more we were talking about, I'm like, why are we limited? So we've said 90 minutes. And here's my thought. I think that it's 90 minutes, but let's say, for example, we're on fear and we're moving into eliminating beliefs that no longer serve you. And we were really right there on fear. We had a few more people wanting to speak. We're never going to shut that down. If we've got like an extra 10 minutes and somebody needs to, connect with us a little bit further, we're so open to letting you create this program. Because the cool thing about this is Chris's show is raw and unscripted, right? Mine's the Awakening You, our podcast. The integration of those is we're going to get raw, vulnerable, transparent, and truly, truly authentic. Okay. And it's going to feel scary, but we're going to be doing that so that you can peel back those layers and realize that you always were the infinite, brilliant being, and that you have to unlearn what you've learned. So we're going to be together, getting you to be raw, to be vulnerable, to wipe down those lenses, to break connections to those beliefs, to break connections to that forgiveness. It's going to be super impactful. And I can guarantee you this, every single piece that we're going through, some of these coaching programs will talk about things like, we're going to go back to your trauma and we're going to identify the issue that hurt you and heal that, and then you'll be okay. It's not one thing. That one trauma, okay, is part of a cycle of patterns that brought you to that space. There's some responsibility that brought you to that place. What we're going to do is we're going to break the attachments, clean the lens to the system. You're literally going to not have that happen again, because you're a different being. You're the being you were meant to be. So, so tell them a little bit more about, we were talking about like how we can present this to them and make it super cost affordable and make it amazing for everybody.
Oh yeah, man, Scott. Excuse me. Yes, we've actually done a really tremendous job, both Scott and I, in trying to figure out how we can make this accessible for everybody. Yet, obviously, you have to have skin in the game. I mean, I used to do coaching for free, thinking I was helping people, but until there was skin in the game, people weren't actually taking it seriously. And for me personally, when Scott and I were talking about this, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, I've paid, upwards of $1,000 to go attend a 3-day event, walk out of there with a bunch of information, but not be able to not really do anything with it. That shelf help kind of thing. So for Scott and I, we originally priced this at $1,995 for the 12-week program. And obviously with everything that's going on, that's a lot of money right now. But at the same time, so we're looking at offering it for $995 for the 12 weeks. Obviously what Scott just said, your money back guaranteed. Plus, we're also offering a couple of scholarships or half scholarships to people who are financially strapped right now, who still want to take a part, still partake in this program, but perhaps can help us on the backside with other things, social media stuff, kind of just help us out in the program and work on the scholarship so that you can still participate and still help us and still grow. And that's what we want to offer you today. That's the first step in your life. And that's one of the parts that you have to do. And Scott and I had talked about this. When you love yourself, you have to make that step. You have to make that commitment. And for me personally, I went through this same exact thing. When I looked at joining a mastermind, I sat there and I'm like, God, that's a lot of money. And I just thought about it and I fretted. And I'm like, Chris, if you don't make this investment and if you can't take this investment, if you can't come out of this with $1 more based on what you're going to do and what you're going to accomplish, then you have no business doing it. So you really have to think about, what skin in the game you have and what you can do. And please reach out to Scott and I and talk to us about the scholarships and what's going on, because we want to make this as impactful and, as affordable for you guys so that you can, take your next step in your life.
And I would just explain it to be this simple is, again, we were breaking it down from what other people are paying for college courses and things that people deem as valuable and I deem as assumed to be necessary. And so we're going to guarantee this is going to happen to you. There's blockers that are holding you back. There's patterns that you're sitting in. You are going to have some massive shifts. There's absolutely no question. There's no question. If you come ready to participate and you commit to being vulnerable and transparent, and not just with Chris and I. So if you have a connection to Chris and I, and then there's somebody in the program going, please don't pair me with him. Please don't pair me with him. Please don't pair me with her. That's the person you're supposed to be paired with. I promise you. Think of this, okay? Nothing is a coincidence. Let's say that you sign up for this program, then you're like, oh, should I have done that? Oh my God, I'm so scared. And then it's the wrong partner, whatever. Listen to what's happening. You're going back into those patterns of no, 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 and all the negativity. This is what I would invite you to do. If and when you decide to become part of this, the second that happens, I want you to start saying yes, 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 yes. There's one thing I will promise you, and Chris will tell you the same thing. We coach each other, by the way. He's been calling me saying, stop having such a big heart. He's like, stop it. You're mentally going, you guys see us on screen. I'm losing my mind because of all these things going on. And then I come in, I'm like, hey, but I'm stressed out. I'll be honest with you. And so we're helping one another. What we're going to do for you is we're going to help you be vulnerable, be truthful, accept the fact that there's things going on right now that are stressing you. We're going to work through that together. And it's not just me and Chris you got to trust. It's you. We're going to help you trust you. This is Chris and I. We're going to be big mirrors. We're going to be big mirrors saying, look at you. Look at how beautiful and amazing you are. We're going to give you really simple assignments to follow to become the best you possible. It's that simple. And you're going to have a secondary mirror in your accountability coach. So all I can say is this. I am more than excited. Ridiculously excited. Like, can I just be crazy now? Because this is the one thing we are excited about.
No, I know. With everything else we got going on, it's like, well, we got some shiny hope that we can focus on as opposed to dealing with the issues we're going to deal with in, another 10 minutes. But I'm excited too, because not only do I get to learn from you and your program, but we also get to work together. And I think people that have been watching our Friday Night Lives and watching everything else that we've been doing obviously know that we have a solidarity in the fact that we care deeply about people. It's not one of those things like, oh yeah, come on in and, get your seat and do all this other shit. It's like, Scott and I are committed to the fact that we want, and we truly believe in the people that we're going to accept in this program, because maybe it's not for everybody. This is going to be a program. We want to make sure that it's right for everybody. We don't want to just take somebody who says, oh yeah, I think I need to learn to love myself a little bit better. This is for the people that are really ready to take it to the next level, because you have complete access to Scott and I. It's like, you can ask me a question about goals. You can ask me a question about legacy planning. This is going to be about, the love and the fear model, but as well, you have immediate access to all of us. So that investment is like truly the investment in your life that's going to take you to the next level. You either choose to do it now, or you choose to play the someday game and you figure it out later on. But most of those people wind up looking back on their life and looking at it in regret and saying, wow, I should have went to school. I should have went to college. I should have went to that trade school. I should have made that investment. I should have got that, professional headshot when I was doing those things, whatever it might be. We're here for you and we want to talk to you. So just send us a message. This is here on Facebook right now. We're opening it up to you guys first, because you guys are our family. You guys are our community. And if you know of anybody else that can use this, maybe it's not you particularly, please share this out, because we want to impact as many people, have as many people in the program, have a good vibration, partner up everybody, because the things you're going to learn from yourself and from your partners and from Scott and I are going to be massive. Your head's going to explode, but it's going to explode in a good way.
And actually, I want to make a suggestion too. And this is something that you and I had mentioned. It's something we might have an exclusive class just for this at some point, but it's the same content. When kids are going off to college right now, there's such a different environment. Are they going to have online classes? You know, is this going to look like this? We've got racism, we got COVID. Like it's already tough enough. I will personally guarantee you this program, if you gave it, because first of all, we're starting in August, so this could run with a student's first semester. I would highly recommend if they were going to take 5 classes, take this in 4 classes. I promise you, everything in here will guarantee them success in college. That's a heavy promise. I mean, I don't know what my students are on here right now, but my students will come back and tell you this. They always think I'm batshit crazy when they first meet me because I do a lot of crazy social experiments. What I'm really trying to do is get them to be vulnerable and open and honest. And so I mess with them. The first day of class, I walk in, I say, I love you. I love you. I love you. And I do that to every student in the class. And I'm like, here's your syllabus. I'll see you on Wednesday. What do you think that does to a student? They come back in, I go, did anybody feel uncomfortable when I start to say what I said last class? The whole class raised their hand. Except for one dude in the back, this stoner kid goes, dude, that was really cool. And everybody else hates me. So they think I'm, Chris, they literally think I'm nuts and they want to drop out of the class. I ask them a question. I say, Chris, I go, say, students, listen, there's 2 reasons I teach, one of 2. Either I love to hear myself talk, or I really, truly love you and can't wait to see you take everything that I know plus everything you know and elevate to the best you possible. I go, what do you think it is? And they're like, well, I guess it's the second one, but that's really weird. I go, it's only weird because we've made it that way. And so by the end, they're all like, oh, that was so right. There's a vulnerability, a transparency, a freshness, and authenticity. And I wish that they could take that class environment and mimic that everywhere where they go. And they try to, and they come back and they say, thank you. But everyone wants the world to be that way. And that's got to start with us. And so that's what we're teaching. We're going to teach you how to be that person that when somebody first meets you, it's going to be uncomfortable. You know why? Because you're authentic. And we're going to help you become that. So that's all I got. I love you guys so much. And thank you for being part of Chris and I's life. No doubt.
Yes. Thank you so much. And again, just reach out to us individually or whatever. Hit us up on a group chat here on Facebook. Again, we open this up to you guys first and offer that reduced pricing for you guys because you guys are our family. So we love you. We appreciate you. Thank you for being here and sharing this with us. Scott, any final words before we head off to our next conversation here in about 8 minutes?
If you're on board with us and you love getting uncomfortable because you know discomfort creates growth and embracing the uncertainty, in 8.5 minutes, we will be live with Sean Hardiman. He's a youth coach and he's actually a youth speaker and he's a basketball coach and he's got some youth camps. We're going to have some hard-hitting questions for him and he's going to teach us a lot about how Black people are feeling in America right now. And hopefully it will help, especially if you're someone who says, I don't want to listen to that. Make yourself uncomfortable and come on in because, you know, he's a great guy and he's going to teach us. And that's what we're here for. We're here to give and take on the learning and teaching. So.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you, Brother Scott. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this particular show. We thank you guys so much and we will see you in 8 minutes. Cheers.
See you guys.